Hey, we are live. Got some funky little intro music playing in the background. Let us know if the levels are all right. I'm without Andrew this week because I'm a total idiot and forgot that he told me he's going to be away during his house move. And we wish him the best. You know, we all know how stressful house moves are, and he's been at it for weeks now. So final push. Hey, seeing people coming in straight away. We got Glenn, Danny tuning in. Good to know that I'm live and that I can be heard. Hey, Brandfire in the chat. Let's go. Noticing anything different about my setup today, guys? I got to thank Paul, the producer, and Simone and a few other people who helped me sort the lighting out, and hopefully got some equipment on the way to take it up to another level soon as well. Excited for you guys to be back in another week in AI. What do you think to the music that's coming in? We've got some new things to show you this week, which I'm excited to get to. After we get through the news segment, I'll introduce some new stuff that you guys can actually engage with the content and new ways of engaging. Exciting. StreamYards have added new little things we can do. Hey, thank you so much. Let's go. I'm in full lighting this week. Don't look like such a pale ghost, even though I truly am. I've just got some lights on, so it's amazing what a difference it makes, though, huh? I need to put on my deep late night voice. You know it, Glenn. Smooth 97.1 FM. With this music, it's great, huh? Let us know if you think the music's a good addition to the show or a bad addition to the show. We're going to probably be using it on the intros and outros, and hopefully using some generative remixes. And yeah, it's exciting. New stuff. Smooth. Let's go, Danny. Well, I'm glad that usually I'd have banter with this Andrew at this part of the show. So, you know, I've got you guys to chat with. It's a live show after all. That's the whole point of this show. It's not a pre-recorded thing. I see your comments. So if you're new to the show, let us know whereabouts in the world you're tuning in from and what your interest in generative AI is in general. We're going to be talking about news and showing you ads and short films and music videos and all sorts of stuff as we usually do. We've got a great curated list this week and lots of submitted stuff from you guys too. Lots of competition roundups. It's been quite a hell of a week, actually. Hey, we got Amsterdam tuning in the building. Background and motion graphics, visuals for films, commercials, TV, and so on. Recently started following you with great pleasure. Thank you so much. Third time tuning in, seeing the beautiful things created with the AI. Exactly, we are on a new revolution. I love it. Thanks so much for your comment. Everyone's tuning in through YouTube, I see. Is there anyone seeing us through LinkedIn? Just to make sure we are live through LinkedIn. I can't open it on another tab because I'm fearful that I'll create too much lag in the stream. But yeah, let us know if you're live through LinkedIn, through a comment. And we'll get to some of the news, guys, I reckon. That's enough time, me introing myself this week. No Andrew to have banter with, like I said, so we are live on LinkedIn. Thank you for letting me know. You guys are the best. Appreciate it. All right. Let's get into the news, shall we? So the first piece of news we've got is well, it's not actually this week, but it's fully implemented and everyone's talking about it, is that Runway have implemented Seedance into their platform. As we know, Seedance is the hardest platform to get hold of for those in America and stuff, but it's fully been given the rollout now, apparently, and it's coming to a provider near you, essentially. It's not just Runway that have added it, but it's one of the most exciting places to use it currently, at least for us. Anyway, we saw this funny video that was actually made about the launch of Runway and Seedance, so let's check it out.
Bring me more! More!
believe that one was made by Jeff Synthesized, and it may have been made, I think probably almost certainly in partnership with Runway to announce this. Just thought it was a fun little premise, and having a giant like that being fed over and over again, that is people's Seedance's usage habits inside these platforms. People seem to love it and just can't stop using it when it works. And yeah, fun little thing. We have been told by Michael Nation Jr. that we are indeed live through LinkedIn. So thanks for letting us know. Great to see you here as well. Really appreciate that and letting us know that we're live. As I said, it's always difficult when you're solo hosting these things because I can't be keeping tabs on LinkedIn and YouTube. And we're via X as well today. Discoverable. Damien, hey, how's it going? Haven't seen you in a while, good sir. Good to see you. What's the latest with Alibaba's new model Happy Horse 1.0? I'm going to cut to that because that wasn't something that we made in the news this week, Lawrence, although I have been seeing this as well. Is it confirmed now that it is Alibaba behind it and not Minimax or any of the other Chinese providers? Because I think there was some rumors, hence the Happy Horse naming and the sort of like who's really behind this model. I did see it actually in the leaderboards as number one, which was kind of surprising to see it above Seedance. So anybody with any sort of insights into that or any sort of knowledge about that, it's not a piece of news that actually made the news this week because I wasn't sure exactly. I hadn't seen any confirmation by anyone. Hey, we've got Winston in the building. Holla, Atlanta indeed. Let's go. Doing very well. Thanks, Damien. Doing very well. Happy that the show's sort of taking new steps up, getting new visuals. We're going to be announcing some stuff in the next coming weeks as well, potentially really exciting stuff. And even in today's show, we've got some added little extras. And so each week's climbing. He's been lurking in the back. Well, you see, we see you there. We've got more interactions for you guys that are more passive watchers of the show. We notice a pattern of you guys saying hello and sort of, saying goodbyes at the end, but we've got an easy way for you to be also working and also giving feedback. So again, I'll sort of introduce this as we get to it in the part of the show, but it's a new system widget that StreamYard have provided to us essentially, where you can vote very quickly without having to type too much in terms of how you felt about it. But yeah, we'll introduce that when we get into that part of the show. I would also like to know if anybody knows any more about the news that we're going to be putting on next, because I don't know the organizers behind it. And I found this as a random X post. I put it into a few WhatsApp groups earlier asking if anyone knows who's actually behind this, because they seem to be very young 20-year-old organizers, but they're doing pretty big things. So this news is basically that there is an LA-based AI film festival, and we saw it posted by somebody called Hardeep on X. Yeah, let's just watch the video, and it's kind of self-explanatory as to what it is.
In 2013, India launched a rocket to Mars. The entire cost of launching the rocket to Mars was half of the cost of what it cost to make Interstellar. While art forms like code, painting, and writing have been democratized with their tools, cinema has never been the same. If you want to make a really awesome film, or if you want to even make an 8-tier YouTube video, all of a sudden you need thousands of dollars of budget for sets, for drones, for complex shots like cranes, equipment, and so much more. And it just costs a shit ton of money. And I think AI is here to change that. You've probably seen AI clips online of Tom Cruise fighting Brad Pitt. And I think these are just flashy clips of AI. And the real beauty of what AI brings to filmmaking isn't shown out there. We see AI as a tool to assist filmmakers, not as a replacement. Like how a camera is, like how Premiere Pro is, and not a replacement. Ben Affleck sold his AI startup for $600 million and used the same ideology of not replacing filmmakers by AI, but assisting filmmakers with the AI. And this is why we're making this happen. We understand this change is uncomfortable, but this resistance existed at the same time when Jurassic Park was being released in 1993. When CGI was coming out. The same resistance existed in 1995 when Pixar's movie were coming out. And I think the same resistance is existing right now. We think this is the moment, and we have been doing this for a while now. Earlier this year, we hosted the Mumbai AI Film Festival. just as a side project with like a bunch of us as 20-year-olds. The event ended up blowing up, making national headlines, and then we did an event with the government of India that made again national headlines on the biggest news channels of the country. We were backed by companies like Nvidia, Morphic, and accredited partners like Luma Labs and 11 Labs. And now we're taking this global at Los Angeles, with the Los Angeles AI Film Festival, and after that in Japan, working with the government of Shibuya. And look, we're just a bunch of 20-year-olds. We are both startups that have done millions in revenue, but we don't really have any credentials, and we don't think that really matters because we truly believe in what we are doing. Think of this event like Apple WWDC meets Cannes Film Festival. It's going to have red carpet, it's going to be the Orpheum Theater of LA at its 100th anniversary, and it's going to have the same team that produces the Oscars. And this is because we as a couple of 20-year-olds believe that filmmaking should cost a little bit less than space exploration.
Nicely put together piece there, and I just randomly came across that earlier. Actually, to be completely transparent, there wasn't a lot of news that I'd seen in the generative AI space this week, so this was one of the pieces that I chose. Nice little piece that they put together though, and yeah, very exciting to be both a part of the new AI film festivals. I'm going to be away in the next coming weeks because I'm actually going to be traveling to be part of panels and hosting and stuff like this, and I was obviously involved in the Bionic Awards and the Chroma Awards, and there seems to be more and more coming up all over the world. It's quite exciting, and it's starting to be taken a lot more seriously. And I think we can all say, especially Glenn and others that are watching, and Damien and Eric and all of those, we're sort of seeing the maturity of the industry now, where the fun that we've been having is starting to be taken a lot more seriously, and multiple awards and prize monies are being offered, and more collectives all around the world are getting together and hosting these events, and it's great to be part of it, honestly. Let's hope they all start doing live shows, because I think that is definitely the future format. We'd love to be hosting their live shows, so if anybody's watching this thinking about that, yeah, it's exciting times. So yeah, that was the news number 2. Let us know what you think about that. If you're in LA, have you heard about this, or is this brand new? Like I said, it was literally on my feed just this morning, so it could be a very new announcement that we're sort of breaking news to you. But if you are in LA and have heard anything about this or others, I know AI in the Lot is also in LA, and that's run by good buddy Todd, who's friends of the show. So yes, lots going on all over the world, guys. The other piece of news that we saw and curated for this week was probably the biggest piece of news, in that it was a genuinely big update for one of the platforms that we've talked about quite a bit in the past. Now, in truth, we haven't actually used this one a whole lot because we haven't had the use cases to do so. But again, if anybody in the comments has been a user of HeyGen over the years and has played with the recent Avatar 5 update, then definitely let us know. Is it state of the art? Is it the best lip sync model? We're going to show some comparisons here. Oh, I've got the ice cream van. He's blurting out, if you can hear that, hilariously. Yeah, we're going to show some comparisons here, which we actually took from the landing page, which sort of talked about the update to Avatar 5, I believe it is. I'm just checking my show notes. Yeah, Avatar HeyGen 5. Basically, their notes was that they solved character consistency forever. I guess we will be the judge of that. Again, impartial here because we haven't actually used the platform, and we're only sort of going off of what the videos that they've produced for their landing page are. So if you've used the tool, definitely give us feedback about what your usage has been and whether you thought it is state of the art and everything like that. Anyway, let's watch this quick comparison video.
Not a coward, that sounds too mean. Look at me, look at how gentle and when you commit yourself fully to one thing, you can really achieve an awful lot. I certainly know that it's one.
When you commit yourself fully to one thing, you can really achieve an awful lot.
When you commit yourself fully to one thing, you can really achieve an awful lot.
When you commit yourself fully to one thing, you can really achieve an awful lot. I certainly know that it's
So, if you've used other models like Kling or Omnihuman or VO 3.1, did you think that they were a fair representation of their lip syncing abilities as well? Or did you think that was a biased sort of thing that they were putting onto their landing page? I would love to know who you think was doing the best here. This is a side-by-side comparison of them all trying to basically do the same prompt, I assume. Obviously, their showcase here was that Avatar 5 is probably the strongest of the models. Did you think it was the strongest of the models? Let us know in the comments. Yeah, that was it, really. So not much to say on that one, unfortunately, because we haven't been a user of it ongoing. I haven't actually been able to test the updates to know how much they're bringing to the table, other than the showcase videos that are sort of cherry-picked from their team. That's pretty much it. We've got some segue music from Paul the producer. Loving it. Thanks for turning down the volume, though. Getting the levels right. It's the first time with music, guys. What do you think? It's cool, huh? I'm enjoying it. Anyway, getting me in the groove. I think Andrew would like it too, actually. I've just told Andrew, you know, good luck. He's traveling. He's not even moving house. I completely forgot. I'm such an idiot. Prior to the start of the show, I was like, oh, he's got to be away. Yeah, you want a 99? Well, Lawrence, I'll scream out the window and see if I can get his attention for you. He does love marketing in our little cul-de-sac, even though it's not that warm. Oh, look, he's doing the rounds again. What about scene consistency in filmmaking? This also is a bit of it. Getting it right, I found. Yep. Ice cream and music. Let's go. I'm not in a new studio, actually. This is just the exact same room that I've rearranged and made my lighting actually work for me instead of against me. So thanks to the tips of Paul and Simone and other people. Yeah, I've just basically had a shuffle around. I was playing Jenga all weekend, to be honest with you, Teresa. I was really rearranging all the furniture in my same exact room in order to just make it look better on stream, which hopefully it does. Hey, Luca, you're an absolute legend for volunteering to join this show, and I'm sorry we couldn't get you in because it was so last minute, man. Thanks for tuning in. But just as a call out, a shout out, I put the word out to say Andrew's not going to be available, and Luca answered the call, and then I realized we were 4 minutes to live and that we wouldn't be able to get the sound checks and stuff in time. But we're going to be hosting streams with Luca coming in May. Really excited for that. Winston, check your email, he's saying. I'm getting some banter in the boys in the chat. I'm loving it. Loving it. Andrew might be tuning in as well. He's on a spotty Wi-Fi in between on trains at the moment. Hey, sup from Colchester. Jimmy's in the house. Let's go. Not sporting the Adidas threw me off today. That's hilarious. I love that I've got these like certain things. I've got the hat back though. Did you notice last week I didn't have the hat, and this week the hat's back. The hat made it back. This music's cool. I like it. Those trumpets are so nice. So the next section of the show, guys, we're going to be going into the ads, and one that I can't believe that we haven't watched on the show yet, because essentially we've been watching 3 weeks back to back of the Runway Big Ad Contest entries. We somehow didn't watch the winning entry, which was by László Gaál, even though we've seen many of László Gaal's videos on this live show in the past. Remember the Porsche behind the scenes one and the incredible Spanish Kling one, which it turned out he couldn't even speak Spanish. You know, we've watched numerous of his videos on this show, but somehow we missed his entry into the big ad contest, and he did actually win. So congratulations to Lazlo. We'll also be watching the third place by Nick Tasker, who I had a great conversation with today, and I'm really excited that he's now in AI. And we got Sage tuning in. Let's go, Sage. How's it going, brother? So without further ado, let's watch the winning Runway Big Ad Contest by László Gaál.
おじいちゃん、尺台手伝ってくれる？
もちろん。ボタンを押せば
いつでもここにいるよ。
おじいちゃんいる？
聞こえてる？
電池がない。これおじいちゃんに届けて。
So amazing stuff. László Gaál always hits the spot. This one particularly had a nice sort of overall style, and again in another language for him. He's so diverse with the languages he chooses. You might see floating around the screen now a brand new widget which we've added to the show, which is a poll which you guys can actually vote in by typing either 1, 2 or 3 in the comments. So now we're in the section of the show where we're actually watching stuff we can have an opinion on. You know, the news is the news. Now we're in the ads territory. What did you think? Was this great? Was it okay? Was it not for me? Runway clearly chose it as its winner. So let's see if these votes work, Paul. We're seeing some ones coming into the comment. Are they actually tallying up into the poll though? Yes. Oh, they're coming through. It looks like they're coming through. We've got some winners here. 100% on the ones. Oh, we have got a 2. Did the 2 come through? Yeah. Yes, we're seeing some ratios. Hey. So this is the way that you guys can interact. It's basically a very easy way. Obviously, you just need to type a number 1, 2, or 3 into the comments on every piece that we watch that we can have an opinion on. Like I said, the news is not really worthy of a poll, so we'll keep that for the ads and the short films and the music that we get submitted. And it's a really quick, easy way for you to give feedback about what you thought. Obviously, we appreciate that you guys are tuning in at all sorts of times all over the world, and you're doing client work, no doubt, whilst you're watching this show. And this is a quick, easy way to be able to just give us your feedback. Seeing some numbers coming through. Luca put a 5 in the comments. I'm not sure in a 1, 2, 3 poll how 5 works, but hilarious. Lots of 1s, lots of 2s, and look, all of you guys are coming out of the woodwork now. You see, I see your comments, and it's a lot easier to interact this way, right? I'm really happy that StreamYard have added this as a little thing into their system, and even we got a not for me. Look, interesting, and it's going to be diverse opinions, and we really welcome them. You know, we want you to tell the truth about all of the things that we watch, and that this is a legitimate system that we're using. Please try not to abuse it, obviously. I think you can only vote once as well, which is great. So you can spam 1 in the comments if you want. It doesn't matter. You won't be counted more than once, hopefully. But yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? And there was quite a diverse 1 to 25 range from the Runway competition as to their judgment of it. And this obviously chose the AA batteries as the piece to make the piece around. There were 6 individual items that you could have chosen. There was a hose, there were paper clips, there was coconut crunch, there was fizzy drink, and there was the bookmark, which we ended up choosing as well. Or you could invent a product that didn't exist, which were the rules for this particular competition. But yeah, congrats to Lazlo. Like I said, he's been a frequently on the show with stuff that we've just come across in our feed that we thought was exceptionally well put together. So not something he's entered into an award for, just stuff that we've appreciated as LinkedIn content generally. He's very, very good. So it seems you guys agree. The poll was overwhelmingly 1s. Let's watch the next piece, which was the 3rd place entry, which is by Nick Tasker. As I said, I had a great chat with Nick today. A really long track, actually, because we both come from Adland, and hopefully he's going to be a future guest on the show. Congrats to Nick for coming 3rd. Let's watch his piece.
Meet Greg.
Greg will do anything for a fizz soda. Literally anything.
I'd do anything for a fizz. Anything just like this. Call it madness, call it bliss. I'd do anything for a fizz. Bit of a scrape, bit of a spin, little too close for comfort I'm in. Trouble may knock, I let it in. Doesn't mean much for a fizz. I'd do anything.
Yeah, that's really fun, isn't it? I'm just letting Nick know that we're watching his piece live after we had that chat. I'm not sure if he's watching live. If you are, let us know in the comments, Nick. Otherwise, I'm sending it over to you on LinkedIn now, mate. Congratulations again. 3rd place. Only been in AI sort of recently, but as I said, come from big ad land background, which you just can't fake, honestly. If you've been directing ads for, more than 10 years, as Glenn and Eric will tell you, it can really shine through in your ideation and your premises and your overall feel and vibe for how ads should act. Seeing a lot of ones in the comments already for people loving this one. Hilarious indeed. Yeah, I loved some of the skits, some of the scenes, some of the pacing, the music choice. Yeah, lots to love about this one. The sumo here, carrying a sumo on his back, lots and lots of ones here. Congratulations. Yeah, exactly. So rightfully in the 1st and 3rd place, awesome to see some of the people that we've obviously found long before they've entered into this and highlighted their work actually going on to get real prize money. Really awesome to see, guys. And that you guys agree, in the chat. Those are some big ass wasps, lol. Yes, it's funny because he actually mentioned that to me as being one of the feedbacks. And again, it's probably just him being so trying to get into AI so quickly and turn this around in the time in which the ad competition had to be closed with, and his ability to get in on it. We're talking weeks, and months. It's amazing. So the fact that he's able to create something of this quality that quickly, it just shows that you just can't fake big ad experience. It's just, if you've worked in agencies, you kind of know how this works in the real world. And now you just need to know the AI tools and how to get that out of it. But yeah, crushing through these sections, loving this poll, starting to work really nicely. We now are going to look at some of the Luma competition, which is another thing that we've been following quite closely since they announced it. It's a very big one. There is $1 million prize potentially here if anyone can secure a Cannes Lions. And what turned out was that they had chosen 25, I think it's 25, someone could correct me in the comments, entries to be submitted, and they will all actually be flown to Cannes Lions for the experience. Whether or not they win Cannes Lions is a very different matter, obviously, but they will at least, by being selected, actually be flown to the event, which is a really cool thing. And I didn't even realize that was part of the competition, to be honest with you. So yeah, awesome to see that Luma's doing that. We're going to start looking at some of these. These were curated from my own LinkedIn feed, where I saw that people were basically posting their piece that had been selected as part of these 25. The first one that I came across was by Philip Lee. And the notes I've got for this one were, I built a universe inside the threads of a coat. It's a story about ambition and what we're willing to leave behind for a better life. So let's check it out with that context.
I still wonder how it happened here. How a world of noise could just disappear. We were crowded, sure, but the air was ours. Our bread, our corners, our shared out hours. It was home. Then I brought the scent from the world outside, a story of gold that I told with pride. I'd seen them living, truly alive, building a place where a soul could thrive. A world where life could finally breathe and leave this dust for us to grieve. The day came white, pristine and cold. I was the guide, I did as told. No hesitation, no looking back. I watched them vanish through the crack. I was the last to shut the door, to face the dark and nothing more. But I got small, I stayed behind. The shadows came for what they'd find. Now I'm the ghost of a city grown into a kingdom of my own.
Wow. An epic payoff at the end there, and an entire world that felt very believable. I saw that Eric put Dean Martin vibe, which I'm interested if other people saw this reference in this style as well. Very creative, just very nice world building. I loved the characters. I loved the style and the pacing. I loved the poetic sort of narrative voiceover in this one as well. Very exciting to see this sort of stuff. Yes, so seeing votes coming through straight away, insane ones across the board so far. I'm loving this poll system, by the way. This is really, really cool to see. I agree that some other people say the poll rocks. Dave agrees. Whether this was made with mostly Kling or Seedance brand, I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I think that if the creator lets us know within their post, or these aren't ones that have been submitted to us, whereby we ask those questions if they're willing to let us know. So worth going to comment on these persons' posts. Obviously, sign up to the newsletter in order to get sent all of the links to everything that we're going to be watching in this show. The newsletter is within Luma, so subscribe to us over there and you'll get sent all of this the next day. It was made with Luma Agents model, I'm being told, which is some direct feedback, so that's really nice. Because it was part of the rules of the contest. So I'm being told that it must have been made by the Luma Agents model in order to enter this, much like Runway had its own specifications and had to be made within Runway. And at that time, Seedance was not available in Runway, only Kling was. So, yes, very interesting. I'm so glad to have all of this feedback from you guys live so that I can let you guys know, because when a question comes in live, we can answer it live with some live feedback from different people watching the show. It's awesome. So yeah, we got an overwhelming one for that. That is, in fact, probably the first piece today where only ones have come in. We'll give it and maybe another 30 seconds for anybody else that wants to cast any last votes on that one. Otherwise, we got our first 100% awesome loving it of the week. Otherwise, in the meantime, check out the newsletter on luma.com/Seedly. It looks like that poll is closed at 100%. So, yeah. And getting here that Luma Agents, I love it too. Oh my God, is it good? I was really, really shocked at how good it is, actually. And I'd been waiting a while to try Luma Agents and Uni One and having the right images to feed it. But then I went a little bit crazy with it and just was incredibly impressed with how good it treats certain briefs and storyboards. And yeah, it seems a lot of people are trying to do similar things, to be fair, you know, across the board. Runway came out with the ad concept, which we talked about. Door Labs, they've been doing a similar things. The Door Brothers, where you can upload an image, create a 3x3 storyboard in order to help generate first, last, and reference frames for your generations. But now everyone's sort of coming onto this. It's really good to see. Luma Agents is just the next level of it all, in that an agent can build build alongside you. And yeah, it's really, really wild. Everyone's saying it's a must. So Luma watching, we know we love you. Sponsor the show. But we clearly you've got fans here, and an incredible product that's one of a kind, really. No one's really doing it like Luma Agents as of right now. So really, really cool. The workflows are just advancing so rapidly, aren't they? Because with Luma Agents, I was showing Paul, it just changes so much. You can rapidly ideate, get Pinterest boards full of answers, come back to it and be inspired by a whole load of stuff in both their own Uni 1 model and Nano Banana, if you wish, and whichever you like. Really, really cool. Right, let's keep going with the show, though. Let me get back to my show notes. So we're going to keep going with the Luma competition. The next entry is a Luma Taxi Ad. This one is by Andrew Miller. Officially being submitted to Cannes Lions was the notes. Let's check it out.
Now the horses quit. All of them. On a Tuesday. Nobody asked them to. They just arrived at a decision, and the town of Luma didn't know what to do until Clovis Dupree pressed a button on his little glass rectangle and hailed a Luma taxi. He got in, and that was more or less that. Then we had ourselves a montage. Folks started using Luma for everything. Things that made sense. Things that didn't. Things that are difficult to explain and probably shouldn't be attempted. Wade Puckett rode one to a duel, then rode it back to his own funeral. The Luma gave him 5 stars both ways. Some of what followed was necessary, some of it was not. All of it got done. Men went places they had no business going. Women went places they absolutely did. Nobody waited on a horse to decide. The town of Luma kept moving. Different than before, but moving. I wasn't there for most of it, but that's what they say. Luma Taxi. Ride on.
If you can dream it, you can make it. Luma.
So completely different to the previous entry that we saw, huh? Like a completely different style, lots of black and white, totally different voiceover, and I love how diverse people can enter these things. It really is your interpretation, seeing this modern car in like a Wild West type environment and that sort of mixed match of modern and retro, and yeah, kind of cool, huh? Like it's just a completely different take on it. And the voiceover was indeed awesome in this one. As Dave is saying in the comments, I agree, the voiceover really helps. In fact, this is the biggest thing to pull me out, I've noticed recently. If the voiceover isn't quite right, it's the thing that really slightly gives me the this could have been improved thing. So the fact that they spent a lot of time on that really helped this scene here where they're all riding on these kind of crazy, these mechanical bulls as well. Just lots of like things that shouldn't be in the same scene together working in harmony. Interesting. Winston's not saying not for me. I should stop saying that, by the way. I realize I shouldn't say what your personal feedback is. It should just be anonymous in this poll. So I will stop saying who's voting what numbers. Yes, interesting. Getting used to the new polls, getting used to the new ways of doing these things. So glad to see you all voting. Thank you so much for engaging in the show like this. It is very, very useful. And we can give more direct feedback to the actual people submitting to us as well, importantly, and the overall feeling of it, which is really, really important to us. More and more, we want people to be submitting to us, and more we want to be providing them the feedback from our community. And this seems like a really easy way to do that. let's keep going. Anyway, as a TLDR for the last piece, just talking about agents, because I saw some of you guys asking about whether you'd use Minimax agents or Kriya agents. I think Winston asked. Let us know what your agents experience are. We're more interested in the image sort of agents like Luma, Kriya, Minimax, and others. I didn't know so many were available, to be honest with you. But my notes about the Luma is we've been involved in Luma since Dream Machine, which was the prior model basically to what they've launched now, which feels like the next iteration of it. And I'm sure many will go down this rabbit hole because it is so useful to have an agent alongside you in the creative process for storyboarding and doing other things like this. So let us know if you've been sort of an OG Luma user since Dream Machine days and whether you feel it's the natural evolution for the products and whether you'd like it in your other products that you're using for AI. Right, let's check out the next one on the list. This one was by Ben Abergel, and it's the Luma Burger Ad. Again, officially submitted to Cannes Lions as the notes here. Let's check it out.
Well, Mama picked the berries and she put it in the wine. To know everybody gonna have a real good time. We all on the back porch getting real high. Pass around the bottle of your mama's whiskered down. Can't you smell what old bear's cooking? Them collard greens are so good looking. Man, I've been away too long.
100% plant-based. Luma Burger for everyone.
Yeah. A completely different take again. I really love the music in this one. The song works so well. It sounded like a song that was made for this piece, although I could be wrong on that. Let us know again if what you thought. But yeah, really fun. Love the sort of anthropomorphic cow here in a dress and the lipstick going to order a burger, which obviously seems sacrilegious at first, that a cow would be eating a cow. And then suddenly, you know, it's the plant burger reveal for a nice little twist. I have seen this premise before, honestly, you know, the idea of an anthropomorphic animal. And we even saw the world's longest vegan restaurant in a previous episode, again with anthropomorphic animals. So it's not like this is an insanely new premise or anything like that. It's been done a fair few times before, but I did like this version of it, and clearly Luma did too, to pick it in the top 25. And you guys do too, seeing lots of ones coming through here. Yeah, fascinating, huh? A lot of people are thinking about these different ways to answer these briefs to stand out, and that one certainly stood out again compared to the other two, which were totally world building, aesthetic pleasing in their own right. But this one had an element more fun to it, a little bit more like joyful, a little bit more upbeat. The music certainly helped, and the anthropomorphic cow and just the great angles and stuff. Yeah. Going on a date with her ex, lol. That's brutal, Winston. Oh, God. Looking for this to go beyond fashion, soda, drinks, food, and fantasy into stories that takes on B2C, says Pipeline Brands. Yes, interesting. This was going to be a Chick-fil-A. Yeah, well, I'm loving these polls, guys. Again, thank you so much for voting in them. It's great to see what you guys think about the things that we've curated for the show. It also helps inform us as to the things that we should pick in the future, obviously, as well as giving these creators their own due feedback. We are now going into a new section, which in my show notes is just entitled Real AI Ads. And by that, we mean obviously that they are AI and that they're not real, but they are actually brand ads that have been commissioned, and this is like professional work, essentially. So we're seeing everything across the pipeline being submitted to us, from spec ads to competition to real. And yeah, it's awesome to see that you guys are getting so much work in and stuff like that. We've actually been seeing some bigger ones as well, in that in the next couple, we'll be watching some agency produced ones from familiar agency names as well. So everyone's getting in board on this AI stuff now, seemingly. But this first one is for GCDS. and it's SS26 fashion show launch. It was created by Misha Fedozeev. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Let's check it out.
Welcome to the GCDS Mall, where you'll celebrate the past 10 years of GCDS. Have we been here before? Is it the first time, or is it all in your mind? There might be a way out of here. Just ask yourself, what's in my bag? You can try to escape. You can look for the exit, or you can stay and enjoy the show.
Oh. Trippy stuff there. I actually kind of like this one. It's I like the transitions between the shots here. But yeah, really trippy stuff. This is for a real luxury brand, and it's an AI generated ad. So we're going to put the poll up again. What do you think? Was this yours sort of thing? Was it just okay to you, or was it not your sort of thing? I got some Alice in Wonderland type vibes there with the red door in the middle of nowhere that opened into this. Yeah, interesting, huh? So not everybody's cup of tea, this one. But as a piece of client work, you know, we've always got to have the context of, I don't know this brand, so was it faithful to the brand? Was it good at the target audience it's aiming it at? These are the things, obviously, to take into consideration when we're watching real ads, especially that you may not be the target market, especially me. I definitely don't know this brand or into this type of brands at all. So it's really not aimed at someone like me. But yeah, getting some interesting feedback. Good editing, smooth editing. Again, I noticed the transitions there, like I said, were pretty cool and interesting, which is why it made the curations for the show. Just a different piece altogether, really. But doesn't look like it's the ones for you guys, which is absolutely fair enough. Like I said, we're not the target market in most of its case. So, yeah. Let's keep going. What else did we find? Oh, I had some other notes on that I forgot to mention prior to watching that. It was an independent AI creative director that made that. So it wasn't actually an agency in that case. Working solo, delivered it for the teaser in Milan. So basically, it's a piece of client work that they did on their own, which is pretty good with all the editing and all the generating. And that obviously does have to be taken into consideration especially when the next piece we're going to be watching is by Havas Lims, which is a big agency. Havas, the group, obviously, is a big agency. I don't know how big Havas Lims is as to how many people actually worked on this piece. But this is a full campaign film that they built with AI and real people. So it's a hybrid production for this one. And it's on behalf of a client called PPG, which is above and beyond platform. We brought a world to life through our own AI pipelines, environments generated from scratch, full control over space, color, and cinematography. Let's check it out.
We're not here to follow the trade, we're here to redefine it. Every surface flawlessly finished with products that push work beyond the ordinary. We are professionals who don't settle for standard, but set the new one. Above and beyond, for the generation built to lead.
Just as a question, what sort of company do you believe that was an advert for? Because it's a question that me and Paul had, and I didn't actually allude to it before we actually watched it. But if you realized what type of company it was for, let us know, because we got a little bit confused by it, to be honest with you. But yeah, it was, seeing some people realizing it's selling paint. Yeah, I mean, we came to that conclusion ourselves in the end, but we got a little bit like thrown off by some of the branded words and stuff like that, I guess. We're just, again, not that familiar with the brand, maybe not the ideal target market. But as a hybrid production there, basically they're using real actors and using real people. So, you know, the backlash would be less so from the brand using AI in this case, because there were real actors and real humans involved. AI was used to make some of the scenery and some of the parts that you can see here as the background and stuff. Do you think that was the right use of AI in this case? Or do you think that wasn't? I'm seeing votes coming through now, so there's some mixed opinions again about this one. it maybe could have had some more story to it, you know. Essentially it was a little bit like corporately safe and sort of just a typical sort of ad in that it's quite forgettable, to be truthful with you. But I did like the idea that hybrid production and AI is being used by bigger agencies like this, and they're realizing the value of it. But yeah, seems like they could have done a bit more. But yeah, that's just quick fire round. We're getting through some stuff. That's great thing about ads as well, obviously, is when we watch some of the short films and music videos later, they go on for a lot longer, and we can just rapid fire with ads. Generally like 30 seconds to 1 minute, or maybe like maximum a minute and a half, and then you've got to really make it good to keep it longer than a minute and a half in order to get the story over. But yeah, you guys are voting like mad, which is awesome to see. Thank you so much again for doing that. This next one we're going to watch is Google Maps X Coachella ad, which is kind of an exciting collaboration. It was directed by Julian Valley. The composer was Blackpaw, and the AI artists involved were Julian Valley, Jordan Daniel Chesney. Let's watch it. Wow, there was so much going on in that one, wasn't there? So many different twists and turns. I loved the crazy beat it was edited to as well. As you'd expect, between a collaboration between Coachella and Google Maps, I guess, had some serious effort put into this one. It was kind of giving me the Door Brothers vibes from last week, honestly, with the little prompt box coming up onto the screen like this, and the flicking between rapid worlds, especially when we entered into the game world, and all these emojis and yeah, these different angles, different scenes, different worlds, rapid fire, lots of ones coming in, a few twos coming in. Very gamified, very funky, very modern. This flashlight bit was kind of creepy, honestly. But again, like a different world, different palette. This like Google Maps integration here was kind of nice. It wasn't overly Google Maps, was it? I kind of noticed that. Like this Google Maps prompt box obviously felt like a prompt box as well. So then it's like flicking through the worlds. It makes sense why that's integrated. This bit was kind of cool stylistically. And then sort of the different edits. I imagine there are a lot of people involved in this, doing various elements of this video. This part went again into a totally different direction with the cactus character, and it felt a lot more AI than the rest of it. This lightning from the baseball bat there. Kind of fun though, you know, like I said, just this game part here really felt different. And then you get a first person camera, lots of multi shots going on here. Yes. So we've got a lot of votes coming in. Cool clip, but it felt a bit too long. It was some of the feedback there. Again, it was a very long piece. Again, where it was used, how it was distributed is always something to consider. I'm not sure how this was distributed. Maybe it was a YouTube ad or something like this, in which case, yeah, definitely it was probably going on a bit longer than it needed to, but it did cut to the chase pretty nicely. But then maybe the scenes and the world went on a bit longer, and it maybe had some edits, you know. Maybe there are versions of this that were running as ads that were cut down versions of this. I'm not sure. Maybe we're watching the whole piece here. Could be the director's cut, not sure. The fast-paced editing and cuts was really fun. I'm going to start saying these comments without actually saying your names. As I said, if I don't want to call you out for saying negative things, and we want, obviously, all feedback. So I'm just going to say the comment that you left rather than who left it, just so that makes sense. Again, new things in the show. We've got the polls. We've got the direct feedback coming for each piece, and we're rapid firing through them. We got submitted so much this week that I'm just going to keep going, honestly, because, yeah, we've got so much to show, and we actually had to push a load forward to future episode, which might not be next week, by the way. We've got a few weeks of me traveling to be part of some of these film festivals on panels and hosting and doing other things. So obviously look out on the Luma, subscribe over on YouTube as well, and we'll let you know when the next live session is going to be. It might not be on a Tuesday just because of the events that I've got coming up that will potentially clash, but we'll still try and bring you the show potentially on another day of the week. So just look out for a potential day change in the next couple of weeks. There were a lot more involved, obviously, in that one than I mentioned. Just as a producer note, I've been shown by Paul here that there were a lot more people involved that I couldn't call out because there were just simply so many names, but we will send a link to where we found that originally, which does list all of the people involved in the creation of that one. So the next piece we're going to watch is called 1-8, and it's with Virat Kohli, a sports brand. This one was made by Naven Kumar, and the notes I've got for this one are that his golden rule for AI video generation, he calls the 1 second rule. And that means never hold on to an AI generated shot more than 1 second that you need to, if you can help it. That really helps the visual quality, and AI video right now is incredible. But he says that the temporal consistency is garbage. So it's improving fast, but it's not quite production ready yet. So he's making fast cuts here purposely to try and mask the AI. Let's check it out.
The moment is coming.
Nice edit, nice black and white, nice pacing. I really like some of the transitions there. He's right, actually, in that the temporal consistency, yes, we've got 15-second generations now, but that does not mean that after each second, the AI doesn't get less and less accurate as to what's actually being generated. This is definitely an issue. So one of the ways to get around this is to essentially do this incredibly fast edit pace that he has chosen for this piece. So interesting. Seeing some feedback here, some ones, some twos coming in. Correct me if I'm wrong. He's a very famous cricketer, right? Like, he is a famous sports star. I didn't see cricket mentioned at all in this ad, so I assume it's for a brand that he owns or is being a partner of. And essentially, yeah, I'm not too sure about that. 1 second rule is great. They all are too long. Yes, John, I agree. You know, like some people are sort of using too much of the AI generated extended scenes, and you can see that the quality is dropping towards the extensions of those scenes. I agree. It's interesting. Well, rapid fire, getting through them this week, aren't we? I think the poll's really helping. Let's keep going. Next one we've got on the line is a spec ad section. This is Nightwatch Spec Ad. Don't know who this is by. Runway is posting it saying this short ad was created by a single creative in just one afternoon, but didn't actually mention who it was by. So if anybody knows who's watching this, who made this one, please let us know. We thought it was interesting enough for the show, so let's check it out.
Tu as laissé ta tasse.
Sorry.
Encore tiède sur l'évier. Un cheveu blond qui casse sur mon pull décousu d'hier. Ton livre ouvert en travers, une phrase soulignée, restée. C'est parfois se taire, tu l'as lu, tu es parti quand même.
Are you guys hearing bad audio from me, by the way? I'm being told by Paul that I'm getting a lot of pops and stuff. So I'm really sorry if you guys are hearing bad quality this week. I will try and sort it out. Apparently my pop shield's not working too great. But this piece was amazing, wasn't it? If anybody knows who this was made by, we not sure if it was made by the Runway internal team. Saying it sounds good to them. So hopefully I'm not coming through too crackly. But yeah, apologies if there are anybody with bad audio. But yeah, it's a very nice piece that was, I thought, really nicely done. Obviously, we'd like to know more about who made it. But what the trend is here, essentially, is that Runway are just putting out pieces like this, which is great showcases of how their platform work. I believe that many of these companies are starting to hire internal people in order to just produce regular content like this. It's kind of shocking that it's taken this long, honestly, for them to realize that that's such a good thing. Obviously, last week we watched a commission piece by the Door Brothers with Dramina, and you know, we hope that this trend continues and people start to realize that either hiring people internally to produce regular content just with their platform like this, or seeking outside help like commissioning the Door Brothers or us or any other agency that's working in the space to make something with their platform, is a very good idea to do. So yes, we're getting ones across the board for that piece, and isn't that cool? Ranu is also saying, saw this on their LinkedIn feed today. If you saw any more details about that, Ranu, as to who the creator was, or if anybody knows exactly who that creator was. Like I said, the Runway, I think it was the X post that we saw from Runway, we didn't actually see any names listed. So, oh, we've got a last minute 3 there. Interesting, not for you. John's saying they had the 1 second rule in that one as well, except at the end there, it was slowed down for the effect. Yeah, it kind of was. Very smart. Wasn't this made by Katsukosi? Or I'm not exactly how to pronounce this. Yes, I think it is this artist. We're getting some confirmation here. Awesome. Thank you so much. It's really appreciative that you guys can give us that live feedback. If anyone's got any confirmation on that. Anyway, I'm glad that my audio is not too bad for you guys. Paul was telling me it's really bad, and I probably is not the greatest. I'll try and figure it out for next week exactly what is going on. Let's keep going with the show, though. So the next piece is by somebody who I've been talking to a lot, and I absolutely love his style, Mark Isle. Hey, got the line in for you there, brother. You owe me some money on that one. got the style, Mark Isle. He put together this piece, and I just love his style overall. He shows us stuff in the WhatsApp group all the time that he's making with Grok that other people aren't able to get. By the way, that's a pro tip right there. Grok Imagine is now incredibly good aesthetically as an image generator, and Mark Isle is someone to follow if you want prompts about how to do this on his X. This piece he put together is an Adidas X Gucci X Issey Miyake Spec Ad, and I just love the colors and the world that he built here. So let's check it out. Really cool. It is my style, though, to be fair. You know, I am definitely the target market for something like this. Just amazing sort of collaborative fashion, basically, where he's mashing together different styles, you know, well-known brands. And yeah, cool sort of thing. It's the sort of thing I'd make, honestly, which is maybe why I'm so drawn to it. Just but yeah, it's definitely going to have mixed opinions across those watching. It's not going to be for everyone's style or taste. Yeah, really nice piece though. The style choices and the image quality and the overall like consistency of the characters and continuity of it, it's just so different to what we are used to. Like even 6 months ago, you just wouldn't be able to throw together stuff like this. We even saw Dave Clark and others make Adidas concepts in the past with floral things, and we showed those on the show. And now we're in this sort of Seedance and Kling era for video. It feels like with Nano Banana combined and Luma agents on top of that, we're in this new workflow capability where we can start to make these things really, really nice. So we're getting votes coming in for this one. Some interesting ones and twos. Getting some likes, getting some good concepts and ideation. Getting some late votes coming in. Hopefully we're going to have Mark on the show in the future. He's a great guy. Really good, and so good at making like education on the platforms too. He contributes a lot to Rorke's Gen HQ community, and if you're part of that community, no doubt you'll be very familiar with Mark because he's doing a lot of the modules himself. So he's really testing all the new tools, and he's a great follow. There's his handle right there. He doesn't call him so Mark Isle in LinkedIn, and AI_artwork Gen is his X handle. Anyway, let's keep going with the show. So this next section were all things that were submitted to us. And so we thank you very much for taking the time to do that. We'll show you the URL in order to do that. And it's always available through our subscription as well. You'll get sent it as a reminder on the Luma landing page as well. We put it everywhere now, and we'll bring it up in the comments in a little bit what it actually is. There you go, luma.com/Seedly. But yeah, also for the submission, thank you so much for submitting and letting us know the details. So we've got a lot of details for this one. This one was called Robbery Gone Wrong. It is by Igor Karasev and Elonia Vinogorvoda. I hope I pronounced that right. Using Nano Banana 2 and Kling, they made a creative response to the news about the theft of 12 tons of Kit Kat chocolate and the truck itself. Instead of simply retelling the story, we built our own interpretation of what might have happened before the robbery and why the people responsible will inevitably be caught. So with that context in mind, hopefully you saw the news. Let's check it out.
Stop the truck! Kill the engine right now!
We got intel. There's 12 tons of gold in that truck.
No brakes. We do not have room for error.
Man, I'm beat. We rest after the job.
Stay focused.
Stop the truck! Kill the engine right now!
This is the wrong truck, you morons.
Yeah. We should have taken breaks.
Hilarious twist at the end of that one, using Kit Kat's own strapline for taking a break. If you didn't see the news, I don't know how, because it was all over everyone's social media feed, essentially, that an entire load of Kit Kats were stolen in transit. And this is probably one of the biggest things that's ever happened to Kit Kat as a brand, because they got so much free PR because of this story, and so many reactive AI pieces were made. This was a hilarious piece that was submitted to us. I loved the song choice. It was very, very good, and the editing to the song and everything felt like the right tone. It was funny. It was sort of, yeah, it was just great. I really, really like this piece. Obviously, it made the cut for the show. Getting lots of ones, good fella vibes. Yes, there were quite a few references in there. Really appropriate to match the news. Yeah, very contextual, very clever as a way to sort of piggyback onto the thing everyone's talking about, showcasing your AI skills as well. Something that we've tried to do in the past. Baby Driver-ish. Yes, the song was very good and the character choices were very good. This part here could have looked a bit more like Kit Kat, to be honest with you. You know, although it looks better there where it's a sort of closer in version where you can sort of see the Kit Kat logo, but it kind of looked like generic red boxes. That was my only sort of thing. But yeah, very fun. This one's been on my feed throughout a couple of weeks. Yes, it's made a lot of news stories. There's been a lot of videos as well made in reactive to this, but this is one of the better twists and payoffs that we'd seen. Formula One Kit Kat. Formula One branded, no? Says Sage. Yes, I may, yeah. Maybe I'm missing something here. But yeah, the pacing of this one was really good. The put together was really good. Thanks again for submitting it to the show. I need to stop leaning into the mic. I realize I'm doing this and then maybe I'm causing these audio issues. So notes to myself, stop leaning into the mic. Let's keep going. The next piece, we've got Jimmy. If you're still watching Jimmy 404 Films, you have made the cut again, my friend. Thank you so much for submitting to us. You're a legend of the show, and it's so great to meet you in person, by the way. There's only one Santa, a spec ad for twining.ai. This is by Jimmy Woolley of 404 Films. No way, he says, as we cut to his piece. Let's go.
You would not believe how many people have been using my face, my voice, my whole thing without asking permission. Shopping centers, adverts, luxury hot tubs, absolute chaos. Now I'm with Twinning. They help me prove I'm the original, so I choose who gets permission and get paid when my likeness is used.
Fun little piece that you put together there. Nice one, Jimmy. It's so nice of you to submit these things to us. Yes, again, like fun things to put together. I've got notes here that you use Seedance 2, Kling 3.0, Midjourney version 7, and Nano Banana 2. Getting some great feedback from the crew straight away. Lots of ones coming in. Hey, look at that. Look at that. Pouring in with the ones, Jimmy. You're on to the right stuff here, mate. And again, thanks for being a legend of the show. Fun times, eh? Fun times. I love that you can just throw these things together with Seedance and Kling now, honestly. And Midjourney, you've always had that style and aesthetic. When we watched your political piece as well, that really shone through, obviously, in each scene, this style and aesthetic. Again, it's really shines through here. I think it's a great combination. You're using all of the tools to make the style really, really work. I wouldn't suggest any changes in terms of the tools you're using. Just keep pushing the boat, you know, keep coming up with these ideas. And yeah, whenever you get a spec ad like this, especially, so easy to submit, so quick. Your last piece was epic and it was so long. And this piece was a complete counter to that. Obviously, this is like really short, really snappy, really well put together, really well edited, great styles, flicking through really quickly. I loved his accent too. I thought it was hilarious to have Santa with this accent too, like the premise of that even. Fun stuff. Thanks again. Let's get on to the next part of the show. If you want to submit your own work, here's the URL to do so. Thanks so much again for voting in the polls. We've got the music coming back in from the producer. How swanky is that? I'm not even adding music. It's just appearing in the background. And then suddenly it's there. Nice little segue. Getting into the films and anything else we think is cool section, which is the literal notes that I have there. And that's the general thing, is that we like to showcase ads. We know ads. We've worked with ads. Music videos and short filmmaking is one of the things that you guys are doing a lot more than we are doing. So this is the section of the show that we generally show all of those pieces that we really appreciate the work of. And it's just awesome to see the diversity in this section, honestly. Music videos for me personally have been something I've always been into. We've never really done them as an agency though, so the fact that you guys are going down that avenue and sending them on to us, yeah, really, really cool. Oh, we've got some feedback from Jimmy here, which I will touch on before we move on to the next section. Recently been running comparable tests with Seedance and Kling. It's landing 70% Seedance, 30% Kling. Fascinating sort of split there. Seedance is far superior at the action. Yes, we know, obviously, it's just nothing comes close. Kling's got brilliant directional control at the moment. Yes, we agree with that feedback as well. Kling has also got some good emotions and good two characters in one scene stuff going on, but Seedance, as you said, is just so much better for its physical understanding of the world and its ability to create action and epicness. Really, nothing's come close to that. We'll probably only see VO4 when that eventually drops, come close to the bar that Seedance is currently set. Thank you so much for tuning in, Richard. Tune out. See you next week whenever you're able to join the show again in the future. Really appreciate you tuning in and letting us know. Great feedback. Brand saying thanks to Jimmy from 404 about, you know, his tool stack and how realistically he uses each one. And yeah, Seedance is just incredible. And it's now available wherever you get your AI platforms, generally speaking, even if you're in the US, finally. We saw that like taking a lot longer than we expected it to, and it was really weird to see the US be the last to be rolled it out, honestly, because the rest of the world is playing catch up with the US, generally speaking. But for this time, it was the opposite way around, which is a really crazy thing to see. But now it is, I believe, in Hicksfield, in Free Pick, and available on all plans, not just on the business plans, which it originally got rolled out to. It should be basically, yeah, wherever you get your AIs, should be there. Anyway, the song came to a close, and that feels like it's time to move on to the next section. So this next piece, I hope you're still watching, Arthur. You submitted it to us, and we put it in, and we put it in, and we kept putting it in, and we kept forgetting to add it. We finally have you on the show. So Under the Skin by Arthur Monterio. I hope I pronounced that right. I'm really bad at names. This one is a satirical framing study short film, skiers, a clinic, and the kind of enhancement producers nobody talks about publicly. This was the Winter Olympic Committee is still looking into it. These are the notes I have for this piece. Let's watch it. So yeah, the use of the audio there, it was kind of unerring, wasn't it? But going through each scene visually, it's so interesting, and knowing that Luma Agents is capable of doing what it is, and yeah, fascinating stuff. And Luma Agents, if you haven't tried it, honestly, is a game changer, and it's going to be part of our going forward, able to, you know, create storyboards. Like I said, it's just fascinating what it can do. This all felt like a continual world, and the color scenes and the characters, and it just continually relates to one another. And that's what's really good about the agents, is you can specifically put that within your prompt, you know, stick within the color palettes, stick within the style, and then you've got various image models like Uni 1 and Nana Banana 2, which we're all very used to using now as being one of the best in the game, to be able to get this consistency of character. And we can really build these worlds that look and feel the same throughout the entire piece. So yeah, we're seeing some votes coming in now. Yeah, so fascinating. And thanks so much, Artur, for sticking with us. Like I said, you'd submitted that to us quite a while ago, and we just had a really big backlog of all the pieces being submitted to us. You guys are amazing. You're doing such amazing work in such diverse stuff. So yeah, seeing all the votes coming through for that now. Great stuff. I'm loving this poll system. I'm so glad they introduced this. Good work, StreamYard. Keep adding things like this. It's going to really help this show evolve. And that one did not abide the 1 second rule. And yes, it's good to see that as well. You know, like, we got to see different pacing of stuff, different worlds, different stories. Everyone's got a different style, and it bleeds through. It's really interesting. It can be a bit of a tough jury here indeed, but that's it. You know, we want to see all types of feedback for all types of creators, and it's not going to be for everyone. Not everything is for everyone, especially when it comes to stuff that's like advertising. As I said earlier, you may not be the target market. If it's a high fashion brand, it's really not going to be my style, but other people, it may be exactly made for them and they really dig it. The other insight we saw the other week was fascinating, wasn't it? We saw a K-pop music video being made for, I believe it was Samsung Electronics in Austria, and someone in the comments quite literally said the K-pop music scene is exploding in Austria, and it's just something we are not aware of, you know. So again, it's a really interesting insight that was used in the premise of that ad, and it's something that we don't understand and have context of, and therefore we weren't the target market. And always got to have that in context when we're watching pieces that are official ads, that are made for a target market, that need to move the needle. Because again, like I said a few weeks ago, and we had a YouTube short about this, advertising is not as subjective as people think. It's not like art and music in that we all think we've got the best taste in it. It's like advertising really has to do something, has to move the needle, has to persuade their market, their target market, that this is something to buy or purchase or subscribe to or actually do something. So it's interesting that people think they know good advertising, but then are judging it by whether they liked it or not. Again, that's not the way to judge advertising necessarily. Let's keep going with the show though. The next piece is going to be a longer piece. So this, I've been given a little show note here that this is a 5-minute piece. So strap in. This one is called Kamalu, Legend of Amadioha. I'm really bad at pronouncing. This one is by Jeff Obinu. The very first AI-generated series rooted in African mythology, LGBO cosmology told by Africans, crafted using the power of AI. The god of thunder, Amadioha, has been reborn, and not everyone is happy about it. As Kalu grapples with his new identity, a dark threat from the past looms over his future. The tools used in this one were Nano Banana Pro 2, Kling 3, Kling 2.5 as well, which is interesting, Seedream 5.0, which is the image model, and Seedream 4.5. So let's check it out.
We often hear the elders tell stories of ancient legends, but sometimes the legend becomes your story.
Kalu. Ogini meritita.
My little one, sleep in peace. The forest watches over you.
You know he has the eyes of my ancestors.
He is getting heavier by the day. He also inherited your big head.
We must leave now. Mama would be waiting on us.
Hey, watch where you are going.
Thanks for coming to visit. I've been having the same dream over and over. The dream keeps coming back.
What happens in this dream?
The dream is about a small village, just like ours. The village is rich with crops, animals, and culture. But above all these things, the village had the sworn protection of Amadioha, the god of thunder. On a night of a raging storm, Amadioha descends through thunder, shaped in spiral form. And from a chosen household, Amadioha is reborn. But this didn't sit well with the Igwe of the community. He felt threatened by the presence of a power that supersedes his own. So he ordered his warriors to invade the community, kill everyone in sight, and burn down the village. For some reason, this is the part of the dream that wakes me up at night.
Well, at least it's just a dream and not an ancestral vision.
Dreams are visions, my son. Looks like baby Kalu is asleep. And there might be a storm coming. Always a lovely time spent with you, Mama. We must call it a night now.
I'll meet you both inside the house after putting out the fire.
And from a chosen household, Amadioha is reborn.
Stop right there. State your business.
I have an urgent message for the Igwe. I must see him immediately.
Wow, this one was so different, wasn't it? And I loved the story. I loved the lightning effects here, the electricity, and the use of AI for that particular reason. You know, a lot of the criticism of AI videos is where and why was AI used for this? And this made a lot of sense to use AI for this, because obviously that would have been a very expensive thing to produce in the traditional way of CGI and VFX. And I'm being told by Paul here that this one's got 35k views on YouTube. So a really good sort of longer piece to be getting great views on YouTube. Lots and lots of ones coming through straight away from everybody. That was a 5-minute long piece that really kept me watching the entire time. I really grew into liking the characters. I really grew into liking the story and the narrative of this one. And yeah, seeing lots of you agree with that. So in conclusion of this one, what did we learn? Well, anybody is able to make incredible storytelling about their culture like this, and it's incredibly interesting to watch it as somebody who's not that familiar with this culture, and doing mythology and adding things, really like the context and the sort of understanding before reading the show notes about the premise of this one, and then seeing it for the full 5 minutes. It really felt like a great combination. So we want to see more of this, and YouTube as a distribution platform for putting this up as a piece of video that you've made and getting 35k views is a really good way to do it. So yeah, this one was a standout piece of this week, I would say. Submitted to us as well, so thanks again for submitting that to us. We really appreciate it, and the fact that you're aware of our show. You're incredibly talented. Please keep submitting to us. Really appreciate that. Let's keep moving on. You guys agree. 93% awesome in that one. 7% okay. Fascinating. And if you're watching, if not, I'll send you the clip of this or this part of the stream. Thanks again for submitting to us. Submit your own work on the URL there. Seeing more, even ones coming in after the poll's gone down. So ones really across the board there on that one. Like and subscribe. Please come to our YouTube and leave us a comment after the show. Jimmy, I know that you're a YouTube head. We've just watched another good YouTuber there. I need to start telling people to leave comments, because you guys are so good at leaving comments during the show. But I notice once it's a piece that's actually afterwards, you know, that you can watch again and again in the future, we don't get many comments there. So the algorithm's not really being helped a lot. So if you guys would be willing, please go and like and comment on the actual video after as well, so that we get some actual comments coming through on the video, because we see all the comments coming through live on the video. But yeah, let's keep going. Go to my show notes. What have we got next? Next one we have is Chompy versus the World, and we're now getting into the curated section, which is basically things that have stood out to me. They're not necessarily, like I said, within the ad space or anything like this. This one is by Karsten Weingart. This notes I've got, I really wanted to challenge myself by crafting a more narrative-driven story to showcase the power and potential of Seedance 2.0. We see a lot of action, but we don't see that much story and narrative, so let's check out this piece. Very nice. And it was still using Seedance to a lot of its capabilities there. You know, a lot of the things I was looking at going, there's no way any other model would be able to do this. If they hadn't have told us that Seedance was used here, we'd have all guessed that Seedance was used, because nothing is up to this in terms of, even Kling would really struggle at doing a lot of these scenes, especially with the ants flying down the hole and stuff like this. I wonder if Andrew was actually present during this show, whether he'd have noticed the same little detail I did, because last week he was saying it's all about the details. I noticed in the next coming scene, when he dives further down this hole, that there was a Pringle being used as an awning here. I wonder if anyone else noticed that. Right there, a Pringle just randomly being used as an awning. Feels kind of real that an ant might get a Pringle down its little hole like that. Very Bugs Life meets Toy Story. That's the sort of vibe that I was feeling from it. The Toy Story came from the sort of like, character that was pouring the water down. Sid, isn't it, from Toy Story, or whatever the boy's name is? And yeah, shining the magnifying glass and obviously doing naughty little things. And yeah, what did you guys think though? I was seeing a lot of ones coming through here straight away. Really nice put together piece, and using Seedance to its capabilities, but adding a narrative and a story and a feeling to it. It really makes such a difference, doesn't it? Now that we've been given these capabilities and these world unlocking things, we really do need to start weaving in more story and narrative. Clearly, you guys are feeling the same. Oh, Ants, the movie as well, is another reference that's being there. I haven't actually seen that, but yeah. So clearly you guys had the same feelings around that one. Again, why it made the curation for this week. Let's have a look. What else have we got? So really nice piece there. I'm hoping that we see a lot more of that in the future. You know, Seedance with story is such a combination. As Jimmy was saying earlier, though, Kling is still really, really good and adding 30% to his pipeline right now. So, yep. And then we're waiting on the updates, obviously, for VO4, which could be genuinely game-changing. And yes, Jimmy's saying genuinely that one specifically would have been so hard, even before with Seedance 2.0. The editing was mint on that one. You're absolutely right. That was incredibly good storytelling with great character development, as Glenn said. Yeah, some really positive feedback on that one. Glad that we're choosing the right things for you guys, you know? Again, the polls really help us sort of what we're going to pick in the future and stuff, because stuff like that, it instantly stands out to me, but it's always good to know that it's also standing out to you guys as well. So the next piece that I curated is called In Another Breath, and it is by Frameworkers, and it actually was the award-winning AI short film and won the Curious Refuge Prize. Let's check it out. That's right. It was the Feel Good AI animation competition. I was just reminding myself of exactly the entry requirements for this one. Yes, we're seeing some ones come through. I loved the mixed style here. Like this, when it cuts to this specifically, this style change here, and then suddenly you're in a different worlds, and then you're seeing this textured universe here, which is really, really nicely done. I really like the sort of feel of the textured world here from this point onwards. It's the pacing of the music too. As a music head, the piano and and the violin were just so well orchestrated along to the sort of vibe of this one. And a lot of it for me is how the music or the over voice is implemented, because audio just can make or break a piece. And in this case, it really, really helps the overall feeling. Obviously, Curious Refuge agree. They picked it as their number one choice for winning their competition. You guys seem to be showing a lot of ones coming through here as well, so I'm really glad that we picked this piece. So many competitions wrapping up at the same time. It's amazing to be able to showcase, first, second, third prizes in a lot of different competitions all in the same week this week. It's been kind of incredible. And with different briefs too, Luma was so different to Runway, and this one is again entirely different to both of them. So various different formats being submitted and various people figuring that they're better entering one or the other based on their style of choice of creation and whether they think they've got a good idea to answer the particular brief or competition requirements. The felt as a material was a very good idea, as Miriam is saying, and I agree. The feeling of felt added this childhood feeling to it, and then this crazy cut at the end, where you realize that it's all just a micro universe, and that within one sneeze or whatever, the whole thing can just disappear. Had a sort of almost Sopranos cut to black feeling to it, that you were so in love with this felt universe, and then suddenly it was ripped out of your hands like that. But again, this is great. This is the twist. These are the plot lines. These are the great storytelling. Yes, lots of people saying soft, warm, cuddly, plush toy feeling. Anita, we love you. You're the best. Thank you for sharing the show with everyone that you do. Just giving you a personal shout out because I saw your comment earlier about always sharing the show. We love you guys. You're the best for sharing it. Thank you so much. Very Moon and Me for any of the guys in the UK who might have kids. I don't know this. Paul, do you know this Moon and Me reference? I bet you would. I don't know this reference, but I'm gonna get to know. Jimmy, big brain sage, says Miriam. Appreciate you guys. Well, we appreciate you. Right, let's keep going. We're getting close, guys. I've almost carried the entire 2 hours on my own. It's not so bad when you guys are there. You're all commenting, and it really, really helps. Otherwise, if I was just soloing this, I'd feel a bit I'm missing Andrew, but you guys are great. Seeing your comments, being able to actually live react to your comments, it makes such a difference. Okay, the next one is The Failure, and this is a short film by Jesus Trevada Gomez. He is a creative strategist at FreePick, and I believe this is either the second or third time that we've had him on the show because we really consistently like his work. This is probably my most personal project, and it was all made with Seedance 2.0 is the notes I've got for this one. So with that in mind, let's check it out.
Todo el mundo tiene tanto miedo a equivocarse. Pero siendo honesta, yo estoy lista para fallar. ¿Cuándo es la próxima vez que voy a fallar? Dios, estoy lista. Enséñame el camino para fallar de nuevo. Enséñame a fallar tantas veces que llegue a dominar el arte del fallo y por ello seré magistral en intentar algo sin miedo. Yo digo que hagas tu camino y no esperes nada a cambio. Si quieres decir algo, dilo. Si quieres hacer algo, hazlo. Hazlo pese al rechazo o el aplauso. Hazlo como puedas. Hazlo con hambre, hazlo con gracia. Hazlo en el lodo, embarrándote. Hazlo con amor y si hace falta, desespérate. Hazlo riendo, hazlo llorando. Hazlo en paz o peleándote. Pero hazlo.
God, we're covering all the cool textures this week, aren't we? We just had felt, and now we've got claymation, and these are two of my favorite styles historically that we've ever worked with in the past. So I really like this one. Again, it's just an obvious pick for this one, and I loved also that this is the most personal project he's ever done. it's so nice, even watching it in another language with the subtitling and the pacing. It was all so well put together. And this claymation style is incredible with the combination of Seedance. Again, those two together, the style plus the best model. It's really, really nice. And obviously you guys agree, getting lots and lots of ones coming in, loving it. Had to drop in, but bad reception on the train. Hey, Andrew, how's it going? I thought I recognized that. Let's go. Andrew's dropping in. He's on the train, getting bad reception. Look at this voting system we got going, mate. I'm excited to show you this one next week. We've got a new poll going on. How cool is that, eh? The voiceover sounds like Rosalia. Again, maybe I'm missing a reference there, but if you know who that is, let me know. Great little notes here. And we're being told that always bragging about the show and loving Paul behind the scene. Kudos to Paul behind the scene. You guys are the best. We've got some exciting news to tell you in the future as well. So we remember our OGs. Let's put it that way. Me and Paul have had a discussion in the last week or so. Oh, sorry, not the mic there. We're going to be taking the show to new heights. We're excited to announce new things. We're hopefully going to be getting some sponsors on board, but we always will remember the OGs, the people that have been watching us long before the show is going to potentially blow up, which, you know, fingers crossed, we can get some more consistent audience watching us on a regular basis, get some more awesome guests coming in, more co-hosts, more sponsors, more of everything, new setup, new lighting. It's all going off. I'm very excited about it, but we always will remember the ones that watched us from the very start. And you guys have really helped shape this show, honestly, and helped it become what it is. And we're literally watching your work in many cases, you know. Let's keep going. We haven't heard from the man, the myth, the legend in a while, Dave Clark. I'm sorry that I'm maybe not going to see you in Cannes anymore. I've heard that maybe Dave won't be able to make it. I was hoping to be on a panel with him. He's been on the show twice in the past. He is one of the best in the game. And this is the third part, I believe, of a trailer series that he's making for something he calls The Cleaner. So yeah, this is the third installment of this AI series coming soon. We know it's made with Seedance 2.0 inside of Runway, and then he's using Upscaler as Magnific. And in this case, he added his own music too, created with Suno. I assume that's 5.5, but I can ask for more details on that, but it's definitely created with Suno. With all that in mind, let's check it out.
Target location just updated. Remote, off-grid, no backup this time. After this, you could walk away. You know that, right?
I've been walking away for years. It's been a long road to be where I am, still breathing. Time to walk. Just one more job.
God, I've got to stop listening to these just for the music. That Suno beat was crazy. Opera, trap meets dubstep hybrid, like crazy that he can just now go and make these beats to make the edit and make this type of thing. How crazy is this action though? And when he came on the show, his notes were, you know, some of the feedback was that the gun wasn't firing right and the action scenes don't look right. And his feedback was always, if the story is good, then the story is good because the models will improve to the point where the physics is a lot less, you know. And look at this. These fighting scenes on top of things, like the characters do look like they're actually fighting. They don't look like they're warping. It's incredible. We are finally here. It will only improve from here too. Obviously, this isn't the end of the road. It's not perfect. There are still some slight issues, but the things that were being called out at that time are now a lot more ironed out and in a lot less time than we figured as well. I figured it might be years, honestly, for AI video to get up to the quality that Seedance 2 is providing today, accessible by anyone worldwide. But here we are. And so, yeah, we need to now bring the story in. We need to now bring in the narrative. Dave's always coming up with these crazy concepts for different worlds, and he's so good at the action and stuff like this. This felt like a proper movie, you know, like a real world with a main character. And yeah, kind of wild, honestly, that we're here. Yes, not to everyone's tastes, as we know. Everyone's got different styles. Everyone loves different worlds. We just watched claymation, then fuzzy characters, then an action scene, back to back to back. You know, they're very, very different worlds from one another. But yeah, the diversity of stuff you can make with AI is the exciting bit here for me. All these different worlds that we're going through. Kind of wild. I do hope that people continue with the new styles. You know, I think Midjourney and other places are still unmatched, honestly. Grok Imagine, though, as we saw with Mark Isles' piece as well, very good at styles. But Nano Banana itself gives a sort of like photorealism to every output of image. And if you're trying to diversify styles, maybe look at Revi, maybe look at Grok Imagine, maybe look at Midjourney version 8 or anything that can really further the styles of your input reference images for your video creation, because it really does stand out when we watch it on the show with these diverse styles. We've got 5 more minutes of the show. Let me shut up and carry on with the bits. This next piece is by Dale Williams, also a director at Promise. Dave is from Promise. This one is called Finn and the Funk. This is an adult animated comedy about an undercover cop who also happens to be his dog. So let's check it out.
You nervous?
No.
Good. Nerves get you noticed.
Hey, Shank, baby.
We looking for a dog named Yuri.
He's at the Pound, new DJ. Who's your friend?
Don't worry about him.
Finn. That's the name they gave me. Finn.
You know who you riding with?
I've heard things.
Put your badge in. I don't want to see that shit again, alright? You call me Shank, okay? Out here, reputation is currency. You spend mine, I don't get it back.
Understood.
Shank? You got a girl at home, Finn?
No.
You're gonna see a lot tonight. If one of them starts liking you, you already did something wrong.
I'm just gonna fit in. Follow your lead. Find Yuri.
You look like lost dog. You new here?
I come here a lot.
Then why you dance like that? You are look for someone?
I'm not.
Everyone's looking for someone.
Just a guy.
Yuri?
You know him? I mean...
You cute dog. But not careful.
What'd you do?
Nothing!
My God. Just the variances of style this week have been so all over the place. This was a completely different style again, like seeing lots of script tight, it was really good script wise. That you really tell that this person had spent time on this script and that it was a script driven narrative. And that differs a lot to some of the pieces we've watched again this week, which haven't focused so much on getting a tight script and making that one of the overall most obvious parts of this piece. But the style, like the consistency of this style and the world that was built, I loved the characters. I loved the voices attributed to each character. And yeah, a lot of people are saying this one is just genuinely, absolutely insane. And I agree. This is one of the most impressive pieces we've watched all year, potentially, in terms of consistent world building and just being completely feeling like it's an episode of something. It's almost like you just got dropped into a show. But Dale Williams is part of the Promise team. Obviously, one of the best in the game right now. Uncanny Harry, Meta Puppet. We've met lots of the Promise team. Dave himself. Yes, incredible. We have a few more pieces that we're going to try and get to. We are actually at the end of the show. We've gone through the full 2 hours. So those of you that are tuning out, thank you so much for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you subscribe on both YouTube and like and comment on our actual video, like I said earlier, and to Luma and to our newsletter and everything else like that, so you can get all of these pieces sent to you, because that's often the feedback that we get is love to know more about these producers. And we've got all the links to all of the pieces and a bit more from the show notes. Again, the links just come onto the screen there of where you can go and subscribe to get access to this newsletter that will be delivered in the next day. Thank you so much as well for your kind comments earlier. I saw you, we have been working really hard at this show, and we're so glad that it's been, so well liked by you guys. Honestly, the retention rates are amazing, and hopefully we're going to do a bit more on the eyeballs side. So expect to see some new faces, some new voices coming into the comments that we haven't seen in previous weeks, because we're going to be doing collaborative streams and bringing in other communities from across the board. So really excited, and we'll get you some more announcements in specifics in the future when we're ready to announce all of that. We've got another short clip here that we're going to show. One last one. This one is by Asha Singh, made with Seedance 2.0 and Topaz. Let's check it out. By Grail. Awesome. The music on this one and the styles this week has just been the best stylistic week I think we've ever had in terms of diversity of styles, and the music and the beats that have been made this week are just absolutely awesome. Personally, I think that was one of my favorite beats of the week, in terms of whether that was a Suno beat, whether that was another beat that was used. We will find out some more about that one. We knew obviously it was made with Seedance 2.0 and upscaled with Topaz on the video side of things, but still confirm on the beat. Lots and lots of ones coming through on that one. What an end to the show, huh? I'm so glad we saved that one till last, honestly, because stylistically and the beat was just really, really nice. Lots of awesomes coming through in the comments. And yeah, it's Been a great show. Thank you so much. I've hosted it on my own this week. No Andrew. We wish him well in his travels. And yeah, we've got some nice outro music as well. Sets me on the pace. Thanks to Paul for producing the show. Great to see all the interactions on the poll next week, and can't wait to sort of get Andrew clued up on how the polls work. And yeah, like I said, more future exciting announcements. Also, remember, I'm going to be away, so thank you for your well wishes on the traveling. I might have to move the show to a different day in the next couple of weeks just because of my travels, but make sure you subscribe to the newsletter, and we'll let you know about the show moving there, because you'll be actually enabled to get all future notifications of events when you subscribe. We can get you on the list of people to send it to that you've basically opted in for all future events or something like this. And then obviously when you subscribe through YouTube, you'll always see us when we're going live. And yeah, any comments are really appreciated on YouTube. We're trying to push a big push for YouTube and start to up our subscribers over there. A lot of you have been tuning in through YouTube this week. In fact, nearly everybody. We've seen a few LinkedIn users dropping in, but expect to see some X users, expect to see some other users dropping in. Like I said, we're going to be adding to the show. Getting the roses. Look at this. Yes, you can see a recording of this. Absolutely. This will actually be available on the exact same link you're watching this through as soon as I end the stream. So if you're tuning in through YouTube, which I can see you are, essentially as soon as I finish the ending, you'll be able to rewatch the entire thing. But also make sure to subscribe to our Luma, as I was saying just a bit ago, so that you get future updates for everything. Thank you so much, guys. If you need a bodyguard, let me know. I will volunteer. Miriam, you are the best. I actually love you. I want you at every event that I ever go to in the future. You are the #1 fan of this show. Thank you very much. Stay cool yourself. I will try to be safe. Cheers, Eric. You're a legend. Look, Paul's bringing up all these nice little notes for me, and it's very, very nice. Great job on producing the show, mate. Yes, I'm glad I could carry it, and I love the music edition. Again, let us know as feedback for the show if you like the music, if it's too much for me to be talking over the top of the music. We've seen other people try to do this, and the feedback was that the music is too distracting. But again, I don't know about what you guys think. Here's the work link to submit to. Thank you so much, those that do submit. We get all the juicy details that we can pass on to you guys. You know, when people ask, what was this made with? We can actually give you really easy answers this way. Sage, you're a legend for tuning in, mate. I hope to see you at an event soon as well. Let me know if any of you guys are going to be at Cannes, at WAIFF, or if you're going to be at Lisbon Laura's, which is in Portugal. Or what other AI events that you're planning to attend, because, we're open and interested to other things, being invited to panels and to host some, and yeah, open to all of it, really. Anyway, guys, it's 10 minutes past. I'm going to let Paul get out. Thank you so much again for tuning in. Make sure that you subscribe on Luma. I've said it so many times now. I feel like one of those YouTubers. It's weird. It's starting to feel real. The lighting changed, and now things are starting to feel different. Right. Well, we'll see you all next week, guys.